So, alright, so I'm back and I apologize. I've been off the tube for about 40 days and that's because I've been moving around. As you can tell, this is not my studio. I got some really cool looking ancient French tapestry behind me, some kind of Napoleonian furniture here, and very expensive chairs. That means I am in Lebanon. Yes, I am on a mission, and that actually is what it's called for my day-to-day work. I am on mission in Beirut, and I just couldn't take staying away from you, my dear viewers, any longer. So I kind of built this weird looking studio with, yeah, it's a bit shady, but it does work. And so I apologize if it's not as super cool quality as you have usually, but this is what we got. And that's what I could buy with the little money I had left. So today we are reviewing the ROG Zephyrus laptop from ASUS. And I know, laptop, this is a very first time for me on this channel, but a very exciting product. And let me explain. Why would I review some... Yeah, we're in Lebanon, so there's gonna be a lot of noise here and there, and we're just gonna have to work with it. But back to the review. Today we are reviewing the ROG Zephyrus gaming laptop from ASUS. So why would I go ahead and review a product who's been released, what, about 8 months ago? In a nutshell, component pricing. In the past 12 months or so, we saw several component prices exploding, and I'm just gonna mention the video cards, thanks to crypto mining, but also RAM, SSDs, and in certain cases even mechanical hard drives. And basically building a gaming computer is now more expensive than space exploration. I wanted to propose a product which could bring you the very best of what gaming should have. And let me start by saying that whenever big Taiwanese companies try to release a gaming computer, it usually is either too big, too expensive, too heavy, or simply not powerful enough. Now, did ASUS manage to preserve it all and create the perfect balance between portability, performance, and pricing? Roll that intro. ASUS is probably one of the best computer manufacturers out there, and they're doing an amazing job catering to gaming enthusiasts in the desktop world. Now, when it comes to export this know-how into a more portable and laptop market, it kind of almost do it well once in a while, but it's not its forte. But that was before the ROG Zephyrus. So let's start with the obvious. The ROG Zephyrus is 16.9 to 17.9 mm high, 37.9 cm wide, and 26.2 cm deep for 2.2 kg heavy. 16.9 to 17.9 mm high. What does that mean? When opening the Zephyrus, the laptop base elevates by almost 1 full centimeter to fit the massive dual fan intakes with fresh, pure air. Now, why would they do that? So glad you asked. Well, inside this ridiculously thin base, we have, for starters, a Max-Q 1080 GeForce video card, and the Max-Q is a portable version of our NVIDIA 1080 video card with about 20% less performances than the desktop version, but still it has the same RAM. It's just this crazy GPU, especially when you find it onto a 2.2 kg laptop, coupled with a nothing to envy from a desktop i7 7700Q processor from Intel. Add to this 24 GB of DDR4 RAM clocked at 2.4 GHz and up to 1 TB of SSD insanity. Yeah, just that. And to put it back into context, actually, now there's no context. This is probably the very best specifications you can buy for a gaming desktop computer out there. And all that's squeezed, ridiculously squeezed, in the ROG Zephyrus. Display-wise, we have a 15.6-inch screen, which disappointingly only gives us 1920 by 1080 pixels. But on the plus side, it does brings us a 120 Hz refresh rate, which will give us those live-like motion at every turn of your mouse. Now, what about the battery? Well, that's where gaming laptop computers usually have issues, and the Zephyrus is no exception. We are running 4 cells graded at about 50 watt per hour, which on paper looks great, but when it comes to running the computer on medium settings and doing everyday stuff, you can run it for about 2 hours. If you're gonna heavy game on it, I wouldn't go for more than 45 minutes. Maybe even less. So that's not the kind of gaming thing that you'll be able to count on for long periods of time without it being plugged somewhere. Peripherals. Peripherals. Well, like any other higher-end laptop should have, we have an HD front-facing camera, a dual-band 802.11 AC Wi-Fi adapter, a 4.1 Bluetooth adapter, one HDMI 2.0 outlet, 4 third-generation USB, one extra second-generation 3.1 USB Type-C, which can transfer data up to 10 gigabit per second, and finally our usual mic in and mic out audio jacks. Not to self. And not to you. One of the USB plugs has been modified so that it could deliver fast charge to any fast charge enabled mobile phone, and you know, it's one of those small things that do not sound groundbreaking at first, but I was so happily surprised because I'm always running with this kind of big battery drained phone, which I always have to charge back somewhere, and just the fact that I could just plug it in the USB and get this fast charge going on, it's a lifesaver. I loved it. First time I sit on a laptop, and something I want to see more and more and more and more. Now, last but not least, the keyboard. Now, there's a reason why I kept this one to the end. I love this keyboard. The keys are so soft. They're kind of have the texture of satin and latex in the same time. I don't know if that's a thing, but I absolutely love them. And you can press on every single corner of it. It'll always give you the right letter, and the spacing between the keys is absolutely perfect. So even with my Maximus fingers, I actually, didn't do that many mistakes. So that's pretty cool. And of course, they are deliciously Aura compliant. I know. I haven't mentioned the Aura compliance yet, and for the ones who know me, you know that I love this. You can sync every key to your Aura compliant RGB peripherals. You can custom color keys individually, and you can print money with it. No, you can't. Simply said, it is the very best keyboard I have had the pleasure to finger, to touch, to use, to, the only down point I have with this region of the laptop is the mouse/numpad. I know, and I see what ASUS have been trying to do with that, especially placing it on the right hand side, so to reproduce the gaming natural gesture that a gamer has, but come on, if you're gonna go with something like this, a gaming laptop that expensive, you're gonna go for your own existing and external mouse. So not a problem, because you'll probably never use it. Now put that aside and let's just look at the Zephyrus as a product. The ROG Zephyrus is probably the most advanced and best designed gaming laptop out there. The finish is absolutely perfect. The sanded aluminum really gives that expensive feel and look to it. And again, the keyboard and all the expensive plastics around, just the very top of the top. They did not chip on any of the components, and it gives this rare equilibrium between all the aspects I've talked in the introduction of the review. I'm talking about portability, pricing, and the components you can find in there. I mean, there are a couple of drawbacks which I have to mention. Of course, the display is absolutely disappointing, and I would strongly suggest that if you are at home, you do hook up a 4K display directly onto the Zephyrus. Your gaming experience will explode, to say the least. And secondly, of course, the trackpad. That thing is absolutely useless. Not a deal breaker, but absolutely useless. In conclusion, well, this Zephyrus will cost you anywhere between $2,300 to $2,700 US. I know, it hurts, but hear me out. The whole point of this review is to give you an amazing computer to the very best pricing. We're not in the years where laptops were 3 times more expensive than desktop. In a weird way, we're kind of all the way around. So let's take a closer look to what's in there. In its maxed out configuration, we have a GTX 1080, which at least, if you find one, will cost you anywhere between $800 to $900. We have i7 7700, which will run you around $300. 1 TB SSD, which is about $600. RAM will cost you $300 for 24 GB of it. I mean, add the PSU, add the casing, the motherboard, etc., 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 and you'll probably end up anywhere around $3,000 to $3,100 for a similar configuration. So yeah, you for the very first time, there's a real incentive if you're on the market for a very high-end computer to directly go to this kind of computers, to those higher-end laptop gaming computers than building your own. I know it's strange, but again, check my numbers. If you disagree, you have a comment section. You can insult me all day long. But yeah, run your numbers and you'll see that maybe I have a point there. All right, that's it for that. My God, a Lebanese review, literally Lebanese review. I am drenched in sweat. It's so hot. My voice is broken. All right, I'm out.